Uncovered bus routes, not enough drivers and students being left at the bus stop and at school. Those are just some of the complaints about one local bus company from parents in the Department of Education. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mike Montecalvo.
And I'm Shannon Heggie. Hannah Cotter is live for us in East Providence. And Hannah, the Department of Education sent a corrective action letter to DATCO today.
Yes, and Target 12 obtained a copy of that letter. DATCO was recently hired by the state to take on a majority of bus routes this year, but the state claims DATCO is unable to cover multiple routes and has left students in wheelchairs for hours at their schools.
It's disgusting. It's really disheartening. And for someone whose kid is 4 and just starting into the school system, this is not a great way to start the school year.
Sam Cosenza tells 12 News her 4-year-old son, who uses a wheelchair, wasn't picked up by a DATCO school bus this week, and her attempts to contact the company were unsuccessful.
I called them 37 times on Wednesday and left several voicemails, and no one returned a phone call.
DATCO was hired by the state earlier this year to cover a majority of statewide bus routes, beating out First Student in a competitive bidding process. But days before school started, the state had to ask its former contractor to take on more than 24 routes that DATCO couldn't cover. Education Commissioner Angelica Infante Green on Newsmakers this morning.
They promised that they would be able to deliver, and up to this point, they have not.
DATCO COO Kyle DeVivo tells 12 News it's been a big transition and that the company is working to address and fix the problems that have come up.
We can't leave people behind, and we absolutely have to get them home and to school. And that's what we do every single day. And while this has been an incredibly challenging week, I know our team is working hard every single day to improve.
And if DATCO doesn't fix some of those problems within the next 10 days, the state says it's violating its contract. Some of the steps the company says it's already taking coming up at 6. Reporting live in East Providence, I'm Hannah Cotter, 12 News.
First at 6, a local bus company is coming under fire. Thank you for joining us. I'm Mike Montecalvo.
And I'm Shannon Heggie. The company received complaints that it doesn't have enough drivers, is missing bus stops, and leaving children at school. Hannah Cotter is live in East Providence with more. Hannah?
Mike, Shannon, one mother tells me the bus hasn't come for her 4-year-old son who uses a wheelchair, and several other parents have also voiced similar concerns. Now the state is holding DATCO to a corrective action plan.
It never showed up at all.
Sam Cosenza says she tried calling the bus company dozens of times after the school bus didn't show up for her 4-year-old son who uses a wheelchair.
I called them 37 times on Wednesday and left several voicemails, and no one returned a phone call.
The state education department is now putting DATCO on a corrective action plan after officials scrambled to figure out alternative transportation plans for the first week of school.
I'm livid about this. This is unacceptable.
We caught up with Education Commissioner Angelica Infante Green minutes after she broke the news on Newsmakers.
And they claimed that they were prepared. They assured us that they would be prepared. Like nobody would go with someone that didn't meet the qualifications.
Was DATCO ready?
So I think, as we started the school year here, the start of school is always a challenging time.
DATCO COO Kyle DeVivo acknowledging some of those issues and telling 12 News it's been a big transition. The company was recently hired to take on a majority of statewide routes after a competitive bidding process.
We have certainly not been prepared for every single route that we received, and we know that we have improvements to make.
DeVivo says the company is working to get more drivers licensed in Rhode Island, improve communication across the board, and make sure all routes are covered.
And my hope is that next week we're going to see a lot better results here, both in terms of the communication, but also just in the operations themselves.
And according to this letter, if DATCO doesn't start resolving things within the next 10 days, that's a violation of its contract with the state. Live in East Providence, I'm Hannah Cotter, 12 News.